air inside the vehicle grew heavy as Davis' words sunk in. Angela caught in her throat. On foot? Through that? She exchanged a look with her friends, each of their faces pale with fear. No way, Mary whispered, shaking her head. We won't make it. We don't have a choice, David said, checking his rifle and slinging over his shoulder. This roadblock is too dense, and we are running out of fuel. We move fast, stay quiet, and stick together. You've made it this far, don't lose your nerve now. The soldiers began unloading supplies, handing rifles to the few passengers brave enough to ask for one. Angela hesitated as a soldier approached her with a weapon. She had never held a gun before, but the look in his eyes told her there wasn't time for debate. She took it, her hands trembling. What about us? Kim asked, glancing at the rest of the group. We don't know how to use these. You'll learn fast, Davis said bluntly. Stay close to me and the other soldiers. If one of them gets too close, aim for the head. No second chances. Angela tightened her grip on the gun, her palms slick with sweat. Kim, Tina, and Mary stayed close to her as the group prepared to move out. The soldiers led the way, forming a protective perimeter around the civilians. The distant moans of the infected grew louder as they climbed out of the vehicles and onto the dirt-strewn freeway. As they moved, Angela scanned the area, her heart hammering in her chest. Collapsed overpass loomed ahead, a jagged mass of concrete and steel with infected scattered across the rubble. Some stumbled aimlessly while others sniffed in the air, their movements more deliberate. Davis raised a hand, signaling the group to stop. He motioned for silence, his fingers to his lips. The infected hadn't spotted him yet, but the slightest noise would change that. Step by step, they moved through the wreckage, ducking behind abandoned cars and debris. Angela's ears rang with the sound of her own breathing. Every step felt like a gamble. A sudden clang echoed from somewhere behind them, a loose piece of metal kicked by one of the passengers. The infected froze, their heads snapping towards the noise. Move! Davis barked, his voice low but commanding. The group broke into a run as the infected surged towards them, their guttural snarls piercing the night. Angela gripped Kim's hand as they sprinted through the wreckage. Gunfire erupted as the soldiers opened fire, taking down the closest infected, but more kept coming, spilling over the barricade like a flood. We're not gonna make it, Tina screamed, her voice breaking. Yes, we will, Angela shouted back, pulling her forward. They reached the base of the overpass, a steep incline of broken concrete and twisted metal. Davis waved them forward. Climb! Go! Angela scrambled up, her fingers clawing at the rough surface as she helped Kim and Mary. Tina lagged behind, slipping on the rubble as an infected lunged at her. Angela spun around, raising her rifle. She hesitated, her hand shaking, but then the creature was too close. She squeezed the trigger, the shot ringing out. The infected crumpled, but the noise drew more. Keep going! Angela and her friends made it to the top of the rubble pile, their bodies trembling with exhaustion. Below them, the soldiers were holding the line, but they were being overwhelmed. Davis turned to the group, his voice sharp. Go! Get to the other side! We will cover you! No! Angela yelled. You can't stay! Move! David barked, his tone leaving no room for argument. Angela felt Kim grab her arm, pulling her forward. Come on, Ange! We have to go! Reluctantly, Angela followed the group, scrambling down the other side of the rubble behind them. The gunfire grew fainter, replaced by the chilling screams of the soldiers as they were overrun. They hit the ground running, tears streaming down their faces as they sprinted towards the distant lights of what looked like an abandoned gas station. The night air was filled with the sound of snarls and groans. The infected close behind. As they reached the gas station, Angela yanked open the door and ushered her friends inside. Kim and Mary collapsed against the wall, gasping for breath, while Tina slid to the floor, shaking uncontrollably. Angela locked the door and turned to face the others. What now? She asked, her voice barely a whisper. Kim looked up, her face pale. We survived, that's what matters. But Angela wasn't so sure. The gas station was dark, the shells overturned, and the faint sound of the infected outside told her they weren't safe. She gripped her rifle tightly, glancing out the window at the empty road beyond. This wasn't over, not by a long shot.